I need to move somewhere tropical because the winter is kicking my skin is naturally dry as it is. I'm having to reapply lotion like 3 times a day. My pedicure has grown out, the heels are screaming, and I don't know what to do with my hair, but I do know I need a haircut. So let's just get into it. I really want to get back into doing my nails because at one point this entire channel was just nails. So clearly it was of interest to me. And apart from my tendency to hobby hop in order to generate enough dopamine to function, I realized the only real reason that I stopped was due to mental health. So I want to regain that sense of care and attention that I used to invest in my well-being. If you see my nails in the last couple episodes, you know we've come a long way. So I was excited to paint them because they're finally at what I would consider my perfect length. But unfortunately, I was paying more attention to making sure I was in frame than actually filing my nails, and I overdid it. So now I hate the shape and they all gotta go. I noticed a few comments of asking what I'm actually using to cut my toenails in other videos. Although these look like an extra large cuticle nipper, they are ingrown toenail clippers. And I like them because at one point it was really difficult for some reason for me to find toenail clippers that weren't curved instead of the straight edge ones that I prefer. So with these, not only do I get that really straight edge, but I can create a perfect 90-degree angle if I also need to clip the sides. But for my hands though, I feel like square nails make my already short fingers look stubby. So since I can't do almond at this length, I'll at least round the corners. So that like softens it and makes it a little bit more complementary to my hands, because I feel like if you can't find a shape that you think is flattering, you just need to mimic your cuticle line. My cuticle line is also oval or scoval, depending on which nail you're looking at. Although I love gel polish, I've always hated the removal process. Matter of fact, that may very well be one of the contributing factors as to why I stopped also. So I'm trying out a new peel-off base. This is also a gel, so you do have to cure it underneath the lamp. Really didn't need a fresh start. But now I'm irritated because I can't scratch. So for a second, I contemplated actually doing an extension with some dual forms, but then I realized that it's late and I don't think I'm gonna make it to 3 a.m. So I put that right back down and defaulted to the simplest thing possible, which is a natural pink. You know how I've been trying to find new hair staples? Well, I think one of the products that I tried aggravated my dandruff. It was aggressive. So that prompted me to do an apple cider vinegar rinse, because the real question is, why did I ever stop? That's probably why my dandruff been disrespectful in the first place, on top of the fact that it's cold. But this I used to use as a final step in my shower routines. Right now I'm using 2 parts water to 1 part vinegar. Honestly, you can use less than that. Like, you really only need like 2 tablespoons per cup, but I'm trying to see something. And I'm gonna try a new dandruff shampoo, which you can probably see in the background. But first, I'm gonna clarify so that the hair is already clean, and then the treatment can do what it really needs to do. My hair is in braids because I've already detangled it. And when I was taking out said braids, I noticed that my hair was getting tangled in some places, which is not a good sign. Because if 2 plus 2 is 4 and 5 plus 5 is 10, why would my already detangled hair be forming knots? So I went to my phone to see the last time I trimmed my hair. It was 11 months ago. So I'm sure you can guess what we'll be doing after this. Also notice how much more lather I get from the second wash versus the first one. Once is never enough, especially when you're prone to dandruff. Because if you saw the last episode where I talked about it, you know the dandruff is a result of the scalp trying to get rid of what's irritating it. So the best way to treat existing dandruff is to cleanse. Therefore, you really need to get in there. That's why I started using a scalp brush instead of just my fingers to ensure that my scalp gets really clean and I'm lifting any dead cells. And also why I'm using the vinegar as the last step to help balance the pH of my scalp and help balance the oil production since that's what's irritating it. By the way, if you have a favorite self-care person that you follow on YouTube, thank them. Because the way I be fighting for my life trying to keep this lens clear, like just know that they are taking cold showers. This is not for the weak. They deserve their flowers. When I'm finally done, I'll put my hair in a bun to keep it out of the way, and then I will resume with my actual shower, like wash my body. And I'm using the DIY sugar scrub that I made in the last video. And right before I'm about to get out is when I will tilt my head back and apply the vinegar rinse. I even apply it to my skin as well. And then I will do a final rinse with just water. Because I have not mastered artificial lighting, you will have to excuse the fact that I have not captured these things in actual sequence because I'm always waiting for daylight to film. So I've already blow dried my hair, and that process really made me want to rev air. I already have a blow dryer, but I just feel like it definitely would have cut this time in half. But this is the current state of my hair. Since I'm wearing the bummiest ensemble I own, it's hard to tell, but it stops about, I want to say, an inch, maybe an inch and a half below the crease of my bum. And I'm forewarning you, this is by no means a tutorial. In fact, I should not even be cutting my own hair because my arms are not long enough. But I'm doing what I can. So I'm sectioning off my hair based on the planes of my head so that it is technically even all the way around, because you would be cutting it all to the same length. But when it falls, it will naturally give a little bit of layering. And I do mean a little. First thing that I do is establish the new length, and to make sure that it's actually straight across, I use the rubber band method. And speaking of clean slate, I forgot to tell y'all that the website has relaunched, thanks to Squarespace, of course. The hardest part was picking from all of the templates because there's just so many formats that I would have loved to use, but felt like I didn't have the content to support it. Like, I'd say I'm definitely more image forward, but then at the same time, I would struggle to find supporting photos or even text. But with features like Design Intelligence, you can have the copy written for you and get the help of AI to not only build your website, but personalize it. And honestly, it's still a work in progress, but I'm ready to start sending sending out the newsletter that I haven't shut up about for the last month. And clearly you need a way to sign up, so I just published it. Plus, I really want to get your input on what you'd like to see on the site so we can build it together. Because after all, I want it to be an extension of this channel where you can go for more resources, because I know I'm not always the most organized, so many things will be addressed in the newsletter. In fact, I have a couple already in the queue, because again, the templates gave me lots of ideas. And if you also want a domain, bio site to link your socials, booking for your clients, a web store for e-commerce, or a members only space where you can share exclusive content, you can get 10% off with my discount code abetweene, or go to squarespace.com/abetweene. So as I take down every section, I will first pull it straight down and cut it to the length of the guide. Then I will cut it following the plane of my scalp. So me clamping my fingers down to my scalp and then pulling out is me following the plane. I hope that makes sense. And like many people, I do have varying curl patterns and density throughout my head, but no one, and I mean no one, is exempt from breakage from wearing the same hairstyle constantly on repeat. Unfortunately, my default is a bun. It was clearly too much for how thin my hair is on the sides. The thing is, if you want to wear them regularly, you have got to change the positioning. For those of you who don't know, my calluses are caused by gait, and I've been getting my steps in. So my calluses are nice and thick because my body is trying to pad those pressure points. Therefore, I'm going to use a razor. And I know how some people feel about this. I don't care. You do not have to do this, but I am, because it really is built up. I need to put it back in neutral. You can't tell because you're not supposed to be able to, but I leave a little callus just enough because I recognize that my body does need the cushion. As I'm sure you can see, callus yellows, so it's pretty easy to see once you've hit healthy tissue because the skin will be flushed and pink. This is me showing you how the razor responds to not callus. This is just dry skin. It's much thinner in comparison, so it'll easily be treated, or removed rather, with a foot file. I'm making some whipped shea butter and I'm keeping it super simple. I made a video about this like a while ago. I think I used rose hip and sea buckthorn, which gave it like a little orange tinge. So I will link that, but you can use whatever oils you want to, or nothing at all. You can just use shea butter, and technically you don't even have to melt it either. Real shea butter is soft enough to whip as is, like at room temperature. That texture is just quite different than I think what most people are used to, so I like to incorporate other oils as well. And I would say, depending on how you want to package your whipped butter will determine when you should probably stop whipping it. So if you want a pourable consistency, now would be a good time to stop, because as you can see, it's still quite fluid. But if you want to incorporate more air and scoop it into the jar, you can keep going. And just as a quick disclaimer, remember, although this looks like whipped cream, it does not have the same texture, because actual whipping cream is, believe it or not, mostly water. It has like only 30% fat, while this is 100% fat. I'm just using two oils, happen to appear solid when they are below their melting point. If you don't like a greasy feeling or want products that absorb quickly, this is not for you. In the last episode, I talked a bit about exfoliating and how much I rely on it to keep my KP under control and treat ingrowns. So this is my post-sugaring routine. When I say I start exfoliating 3 to 5 days after, this is what I mean. In the beginning, I use predominantly AHAs. One of my favorite products is the Body Serum by Ren, because it uses lactic acid, which is one of the most gentle of the bunch. So much so that I could use this product every day, and have. For something stronger though, I've been using this glycolic acid cream. I haven't had it long enough to give like an objective review, but I do like it. And if you love citrus scents, this smells amazing. I have other exfoliating products, but those and the glycolic cream are things that I will use anywhere from 1 to 3 times during the week. I just wanted to show you what my moisturizing routine looks like when I get out of the shower, since I got some questions about that. And I will continue this routine alternating with physical exfoliation until my hair starts to grow back, which is starting to happen now. And for clarification, despite me filming in broad daylight right now, I'm a night shower, so these products should be reserved for your evening routine. And you should be wearing sunscreen when you get up in the morning. AHAs, BHAs, all the A's, including retin A, make you sensitive to the sun. So to recap, as not to confuse you, I'm only going to talk about the things I'm using in this video. I would either start with the body serum, then lotion, then shea butter, or lotion, then glycolic cream, then shea butter. I'm layering those products from thin and milky to thick and creamy, and then ending with oil, because oil is always last. If you want, like, I don't know, a full video dedicated to what exfoliation looks like from week 1 to week 5, let me know. But I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one.